Hello, my crafty friends and creatives from around the globe. Welcome to Hither and Jan's studio. DJ here, and today we are making a beginner-friendly project. We're going to make a bunch of elements from book pages. Everyone's got book pages. You don't need a lot of supplies to do this. It's super easy to put together, and you can make a lot of pieces fast. So come join me in the studio. Let's get started. All right, so let's get started. I have a couple of books here that I've been gutting for a while. One is an old Shakespeare, Taming of the Shrew, that I got at a charity shop. I don't even think I paid $2.50, but it's gotten some use, and I tore quite a few pages. It's almost done. And then I have this new one called The Theory of the Leisure Class. Well, it's not a new book, but it's a new one I obtained from a local store. And I thought it was really cool because of the size. I thought it would make a really cute little mini journal. And so I grabbed it. I believe this was on their dollar rack. But when I opened it, how fun. There were these old notes in here. And then tucked into some of the pages, there's like these little bits here and there. So I tore some pages out of this one. And what I'll do first is I'll just show you how I attach the pages, which is super easy, and then we'll get to decorating. So here are the two sizes I have, and you want to match size to size. So I have 5, so I need an even number. Is there 2 here? There are. Okay, so I have 3 of these that we can make, and we'll make 2 of these. All right, and I'm going to use the other one. All right, so you want to put, what you first want to do, and I kind of do these in batches. So I glue all the pages together, and then I do any inking that I want, and then I decorate. So the way that I attach these is I put one page upwards, you know, going the correct way, and then the other page down. And the reason I do it upside down like that is because when I turn these over and use them for pockets, then both parts of the text are right side up. And then if you're using them for tucks or something, you can, and you know you're going to do that, you can kind of go ahead and do it the same way. So I have a couple that I pre-made upside down. So we'll do this one as well. And then we'll do a couple of more that are kind of going the same way, so we can use them sort of as side tucks, or something that you want in like a tag or something, which doesn't matter. This way. And these little pieces that you might get off the edges here, don't worry about them, because if you line up this flat edge, you can kind of just make it all square. And then those parts may tend to go down, or you can kind of cut them off. It really doesn't matter. So I actually like that look. But if you don't, then once you glue these down, you can just go ahead and cut that off. And sometimes it will just glue itself down. In this case, they're just kind of scraping off. So. All right, and then I'm just using my favorite kind of mashing tool here, which is a spackle knife, I think, a plastic spackle knife. And just making sure that they're really glued together, because that's important, and you don't get the bubbles and stuff. And I'm using my Uhu stick for this because I'm going to end up sewing. They will actually hold together well even if you don't sew. So if you don't sew, then it's not a big deal. All right, so these two I'm going to send in the same direction, except I'm just going to lay them over this way. So again, you can see that will kind of mash itself down onto that. So like so. Just press that into place. And I'll do 2 more, so we have them to work with, and not that you really need to, you know, see me do this to do it. I'm pretty sure you got it by now. That. Do this one upside down. And the older book pages are a little more fragile, so sometimes I'll add more than 2. So I might do 2 like this, you know, do a bunch like this, and then I'll take these 2 and glue them together. It really depends on what you're doing. Since I'm going to be folding these over onto themselves to create other items, I think we'll be okay. But you decide what works well for your project. Actually, let's do this one. And then there's only one more, so we might as well do them all. All right, so I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll get to the other part. See you in a minute. Okay, so I have all of these now glued together, and some are going in 2 directions, so I'll just make sure that if I have any going in the same direction, I know which ones those are. Nope. Yes, I think I only maybe did one. Okay, so this is the only one I did going in the same direction. All right, so first, I'm just gonna make these monochrome, like I said, and or you know, like one basic. I'm not going to do a lot of colors, so I took out a bunch of stuff that I thought would work for that, and I, you know, just some scraps that are neutral, kind of in that neutral palette, and a lot of die cuts that I have here in the black. I have some that are kind of like this cardstock color too, so we might use 1 or 2 of them. I have a bunch of tags and words that are, you know, in that black family, so we can, you know, black and white like this, and so we can use these as well. And then I think the stitching that I want to do is going to be the black thread, so that's where I'm going with this. Okay, so let's make a pocket first. Those are the easiest, and you can do these a couple of different ways, but let's do a real basic one first. Very simple, nothing tricky to this, and you just want to fold it up, and then I'm going to ink before I do any sewing or gluing or anything like that. So just real quick, I'm just going to add a very light, these are already aged somewhat, these pages, but I think that the ink just kind of brings out some of the stuff you can't normally see with the naked eye or not see well. And you want to do this before you sew or glue, because if you're going to do this piece here, you want to make sure that you have, if you glued this down, then you kind of got to work within that glued down area when you're inking. So just hold off. And if you're going to make this a floating pocket, you may want to do the back. I don't think I will. So that one's inked. Let's do an envelope. Excuse me, an envelope one. I'll go sew these all at the same time, and then we can come and decorate. So let's make this one into kind of like a envelope. So maybe this size, and I'm just eyeballing it here. You can work with what you have and see what size you like. And again, because some of these are old, if you're using really old pages, you want to be careful when you're creasing. You don't want to be too aggressive, because you can just kind of split it when it folds over itself. And you'll find that out with the first couple of pages that you try. So if that's not working for you, just try another book. For the top, I'm just going to do a simple fold over, but I want to find the center. So I'm just folding it like that, meeting the corners, and there's my center. And then I'm going to pull down where that center is there. I'm just going to pull down and make a triangle. So this line is 90 degrees from this line. So, and then the same thing on the other side, and just marry them up as best you can. If they're not perfectly even, that's completely fine. It's torn book page and it's going in a junk journal, so it's all good for me. All right, and so now I'm going to ink here and here on the inside. I'm going to end up gluing those flaps down. That I can do now. So I'll just take a little PVA, and I am going to sew on these so I don't have to be too crazy with the glue. You could even use a glue stick. You just want to kind of get them to sit so that they're not popping up on you when you're putting stuff in them. All right, and we'll finish inking. I mean, this is easy, right? You can do this. It's very beginner friendly, and it makes some fun elements for your journals. Now we're just going to fold that top over, and you see how we have a little envelope. And again, you can adjust this to whatever size you want. Like my flap is coming all the way down to the bottom. If you don't want that, you can just fold it a little higher up, or you can fold this up less, and you'll get a different look. So I'm just going to go around here with a little ink, and then because this might be out, I am going to do the back a bit, like so, and this side of the flap, because we will see that when it folds down, probably more than anything else. All right. So that's that one. And now this one, I think what I'm going to do is cut it and make a pocket that's kind of like a double pocket. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me use a ruler and my cutting tool. So you first want to kind of decide how big you want your pocket to be. Let's say about, so this is going to be the full size of the pocket. We'll just cut that. And then I want a piece that's going to lay across. So I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to do random. And you want one to be a little bigger than the other. So when you line up your tool, your however you're cutting these, you want one to be just slightly smaller than the other. You see how I did that? And you can eyeball it. You might have one that's a little larger than the other, but then basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this one here, and you can move it up a little because this one is going to cover down here. And what you create is kind of a triple pocket. And now let me see, because of the way I did my text, I think I want to do them this way so that all the text is facing in the right direction. Like that. And then you'll get a double pocket, and if you don't glue the back down and you just glue the side, you'll have a triple pocket or a side pocket. So let me ink it up. It'll be a little easier to see what I did here, but I think you get the gist of it. It's just a little different design. It adds a little something different, and you're still using the same piece of the book page. So we only need to ink the one side of these because they will get glued down. And this bottom I won't see, that'll be covered up. So like that and that. So now you can kind of see more of how that's going to look. And we'll just add some ink around here. Like so. And the back is probably going to be down, so I'm not going to worry about that. And now we'll just glue this into place. So we'll glue down the first piece on 3 sides, the 2 sides and the bottom. And if you want to make it a deeper pocket, you can just not glue the bottom, but I'm gonna glue it on mine. And so if you didn't glue the bottom here, when you glue this one on, that top pocket just becomes a little deeper. And then we'll glue this one in. Like so. And there you have another cool pocket. All right, so that's that one. Now we have that one done. Going to take this, and what I think I'll do is turn this into a narrow pocket and a tag. So we'll get 2 items out of this. So what you want to do is if the center of, you know, your page is here, you want to cut slightly over, okay? And this part will be the tag, and this part will be the pocket part. And you can eyeball this to whatever, you know, whatever suits the piece of paper that you're working with. And I'm just going to kind of go there. All right, and cut that a little wonky. So let me see if I can straighten that out. Please excuse the big smear in the middle of my mat. I tried to clean it with acetone. That was a mistake. So that's what I got. I took the ink right up. All right, so now this piece will fold like this. Make it kind of a thinner pocket like the other one we made before. And then this we can just fold in half. And maybe I made this one a little too thin, but this can go in our pocket. And you could also leave it taller, but this will just give it a little more stability, I think. We can go like that. So I actually folded this. I probably want to fold it this way, so all the text is sitting up. All right, so let's ink. Real quick, a little around here. And, you know, take your time. I like to take my time with my inking when I'm doing this on my own. Obviously, when I'm on video, I'm trying to be conscious of your time. I know you can speed ahead, but if I really want a distressed look, I'll kind of come over to the corners and, you know, really take my time to get the look that I want. And, you know, depending on what color, I'm using Vintage Photo by Distress Ink, Ranger, the Tim Holtz one, and it is my favorite, but if you want something a little lighter, there's other colors like antique linen, and I think they have a tea dye color that's a little less aggressive. I happen to like the aggressiveness of Vintage Photo because I feel like it gives me a really grungy kind of look, which is my style. So well, one of my styles I'm finding. So that can go there, and I think this side as well. And then I'll stitch around this, but I'm going to glue it together. And I'm going to glue the other pieces together, and then I think we'll do like a little tuck also. And then I'll sew them up, and we can add some decorations. So if you want to just get to the decorating part, you can kind of skip ahead, but if you want to stick here and kind of watch me work through this, then here you are. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue the two sides here for this. Like so. And I am not adding kind of one of those little punch outs on these. You could certainly do that if you want. I just kind of want it to look like it looks. All right, and this one I can also glue. Like so. And again, I'm going to sew this, so I'm not that worried about the holding power there. Like so. Okay, so those are all done. This one, do I want to glue this yet? This one I am going to put a little punch in because this is so close to the edge. So let's eyeball this out there. And I'll just ink that as well. And now maybe I'll do it in here as well, just so it's not so bright. Yeah, so let's glue this up. Again, just on the two sides for the envelope. And I don't know, I just really like the the blank, I know there's a lot of text on there, but it is almost like a very blank slate to me for decorating with the book page. And most of us have book page, so it works out. All right, so one of these I did the other way. Which one? This one. Okay, so this one I'm going to do a side tuck, and these are, you know, you could do them. What I tend to do is, if I'm doing it this way, I'll fold it over just one time. So you could do a tuck that way. These are going to go in one of my smaller journals, so I want this to be a little smaller. And so I'm going to actually fold this over twice. So I'm going to fold it here and glue that down. I'll use the glue stick for this one. And then we will bring it over one more time for the tuck. So I don't want this to be a tuck in there or a pocket or anything. I'm just going to fold this here, and then that will become my tuck. And we'll fold it right up to there so that it kind of sits on that line. All right, so this is real easy stuff. Nothing to be intimidated about if you're just getting started. Besides, it's book page. If you don't like the way it came out, you can just recycle it. Throw it in your scrap bin, add it to a master board, whatever. All right, so I made the mistake I told you not to do. So let me pull that. And I didn't ink before I glued. So let's just ink, and then I'll reglue it. Elmer's glue would work. I don't think it's archival Elmer's, but this is like a PVA for bookbinding, and I believe it is archival. But it's up to you. I mean, you do what you feel you can do. Most of us have like a general Elmer's glue on hand, so, or a white glue. I don't know. I'm going to get a copyright strike for saying that. But anyway, so that's our tuck. All right, so we have enough here. You kind of get the gist of it. What else? Maybe we can do... what else could we do with these? Oh, I know. We can do... Oh, this will be fun. Okay, so I'm just going to... I haven't done one of these in a while. So I'm just going to fold this kind of in thirds, but not exactly in thirds. So it almost looks like a door opening. And then what we'll do is we'll put in here, we'll take a piece of this and make a pocket. Actually, I can take a piece of the scrap that I have and make a pocket to put inside of it. So I'll just measure this by eye. I want to go in a little. Okay, so that's going to sit there, and I'm going to ink this piece. Everybody's probably like, right? It's so funny. It's always on camera. Well, because nobody sees it otherwise, I guess. And I'm just gonna kind of run my dauber over, I don't know, over the top here to bring up some of that embossing that I did with the folder. Just kind of pull it out a little more. Why not? Why not? I like the way that looks. All right, so that'll sit there. And then let's ink. I'm going to ink it on the internal fold here. On both sides. Like that. So it kind of looks like, you know, when it's been too long in the wallet or something, it kind of gets that aging and the creasing. Probably not as much as I'm doing, but you get the idea. Okay, so this will go in the center here, and I will glue that down, and then I will probably just stitch around the outside of this. I could stitch on the pocket actually if I put this down in a journal. So this can go here, and so you can use up a little scrap that you have. And then this can take a tag, and these can close. And the way that this margin fell, I can do a little decorative stitch there. Or when we decorate, I can add, you know, an embellishment there. All right, so I think we have enough pieces to kind of give you an idea. But you could kind of go crazy. You know, the triple pockets, you can fold these up. I'll show you quick. You can just fold one up. So like I'm taking the bottom and I'm going over the top slightly, like so. All right, so we got to fold there. Then you can come back down ever so slightly. So now we have kind of like a little S pattern there. Okay, so I folded it up and down. And now I can take this and fold it up again. And I can get a triple pocket out of this very small piece of paper. And they're not deep, you know, they're not going to be deep pockets, but this is good for like, you know, tickets and little things that you might want in your journal. So since we folded it, let's ink it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the machine and I'm just going to sew these in a very simple straight stitch. I might throw in a little zigzag here and there just for interest. But a simple straight stitch will do. And if you don't sew and you want to get that sewn look, you can just do some faux sewing with a pen. So you can just draw some stitches on your item with a black Sharpie, you know, a thin line or a pen, or any kind of black marker or brown marker, depending on what you like, and just do a faux sewing effect. And so that will be that one. All right, so I'm gonna glue this. I'm gonna sew all of these together, and then I'll come back here and I'll show you everything I did, and we'll decorate. Okay, so we are all sewn up. So here's what I did. I just did a stitch around this, and then on that section that was kind of more space, I did a little decorative stitch. But again, if you don't want to sew, don't sew. You could also just draw a line. If you like the way that the black contrast looks there, just grab your ruler and draw a line around it, or do some of that scribbly stuff that I don't know, we used to see it on old scrapbooking items. It was kind of like little squigglies. Anyway, you could do something like that. So this is our triple pocket. This is another triple pocket. One of the other pockets, and I did a straight stitch all the way around, and then I see it's tearing here. I'll just glue that down, no biggie. And then I did a zigzag there just to break it up a little. And if you find when you're stitching that your paper is, because you are perforating the paper, that it's tearing and pulling off, use a longer stitch. This was a 2.5 on my machine, which is probably too thin, but it's holding, so I'm not worried about it. Too short, rather. But if you find that happening, just elongate your stitch size. And there's that pocket. We have our little envelope, and I added a little zigzag accent there. Tag. Another zigzag accent there. And then this is our tuck, and I just did a little decorative stitch down there. So like that. All right, so now we can decorate. We can decorate. Yay! All right, so let's see. We got you first. I think I'll put, I have a tall one of these. So I think that would look really nice there. Like so. Very easy to do. If you don't have die cuts, you could use a piece of washi and just or a piece of ribbon and just, kind of add it up there. These are Sizzix, I think, Tim Holt wildflowers or wallpaper, wallflowers, something like that. He has a couple of sets, and I can never remember the name of the different ones, but I believe they're on my favorite things page, so you can go there if you're interested in getting them. I use these a lot on when I send out packages from my shop. I decorate all my envelopes in that, and so I always have a lot of these around, and so I use them. I just like I love the way that they look on the book page. I don't know, it's just something that really appeals to me. It would appeal better if it would stay down. It's just a contrast that I really love. And then I have some cutouts here I have some words and some numbers. So let's see, I have fresh. These are from my words and numbers kit in my shop. And so if you want to get these, they come with a ton of numbers and words. And so I'm just going to add that down here, and maybe I'll put a little something under it, like this scrap, just to pull it forward, give it a little backdrop, you know, kind of like when you add a shadow to text. Just kind of makes it stand out a little more. We'll do that, and we'll cut. This is like an old favorite of mine. It's quick and easy, and it just adds a little dimension, like so. And you know, any of these ways that we're doing these techniques can be applied to, you know, bright colored papers and pastels. If you want to do some of that, you can just use more pastel type inks and colors. And there's one done. Okay, we will do a tag, which is going in a pocket. So this is the pocket for the tag. It's actually not a tag, it's more of a journaling card, right? A little journaling card. So maybe we'll add a little backer to it, like a little piece in here, or actually I can use a little gesso. So let me just grab that. Okay, I don't have any gesso handy right here, but I have some of this chalk paint, like a chalk acrylic paint from Folk Art. It's cottage white. So we'll basically do the same thing. So I'm just going to use my finger tool here, and we'll just take, you know, I just want to push back some of that text so that it makes a better writing space. So a little cottage white chalk paint, and then since it's chalk paint, it'll dry more of a much flatter matte. And then when it's dry, I could go back over it again with my ink if I wanted to. All right, so that's that. And that's on that side. So let me put that to the side to dry. And in the meantime, we will decorate this guy here. Real simple stuff we're going to do. We're not going to get fancy, too fancy. I mean, we can get a little fancy, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see, what do we want to do? I have another piece of paper here that I kind of ran through my embossing folder, and it actually perforated it a bit, so let's see how this looks if I grunge it up a bit. And because I'm working with, like I usually am, black numbers and letters, I'll just add a little of this. I just re-inked this so it's a little heavier than normal. Kind of gives that burnt paper look, which I love. All right, I don't know where I'm going yet. I'm just going to glue this down in the corner first. Let's see what we get. Oop, maybe we'll come up a little, and I can throw a piece of washi on it, like so. And I have This is some Tim Holtz washi. Looks like it with the cigars. This was sent to me in Happy Mail, so I'm not 100% sure. But I could take a little piece of this. And we don't want it to be too even. And it's sticking to the card, so I'm going to have to glue it. There. Now it's not too even. And I can kind of put that there just to give a little something. But I am going to glue it because it did get some of that cardboard. It picked it up when I tore it off. All right, so that's like a little extra element there. Maybe we can make this straighter. Like so. Sure. And then I have these numbers, so let's take 1999 and we can just kind of put that there. Everybody can party like it's 1999. Wow, there are people who were not born in the 1900s. Yeah, I'm getting up there. Okay, so we have that, like so. And then we could, let's see, what else do I have? What do I have? I have these little dragonflies, which I could add one maybe up here like that. Although I'm going to make him dive bombing in. I'm not going to make him going out. I should be using my tweezers. Okay, sticky fingers. That can go like that. So I like that. Very contrasted. And then our tag is dry. Perfect. We can add a little embellishment to it. Let's see. That's too big. I have some smaller ones. This might work. Like that. And, you know, you're not using a lot of different supplies. Again, you could just do washi. You could just do the sewing. You could, if you're an artist, you can draw little doodles on it, or what is that called? Zendangle. You could Zendangle. You could just write a little note on it. You know, whatever. I have these around and I like the way they look, so I'm using them. And then when you're done, because these are all pretty much made from the same material, they're a set. I mean, they all go together. So, and I like that these are little because they fit in my little journals that I make. But you can certainly make these larger with larger pieces of paper, or by, you know, connecting pages. So you could sew pages together. And I feel like this needs a little something on the top. So let me cut off a little strip here. And we'll kind of make it like a faux ribbon. So let me just take a little edge out of here. So I'm just cutting like a little tail. Freehanding it, and then I'll fold it up so it's not even, like so, and then I can glue it in place. You could also staple it, you could sew it. You can do so many things. So just a little finishing touch there, and it's not, you know, nothing difficult. All right, so that one's done. And now let's do this guy here. I have these longer quotes that come in this kit. And I keep using these over and over again because I just love the way that they look. And even if they don't fit my space, I can cut them down. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Confucius. So I'm just going to cut this one down into 3 pieces so that it'll fit a little better. And then, oh, this would be cool. I can do everything has beauty here, and then I can do, but not everyone sees it there. Like so. That's kind of cool. Let's do that. You know, you could run some ribbon across across here and down here also. That would be kind of cool. A little lace, or I don't know, a piece of yarn, whatever you have, really. Maybe we'll put this over here. Kind of like that better. And I have some butterflies here I could put on, maybe one. Let's see how big it is. Might be too big. Let's make that a little sideways, so it goes with the other, like that. And then I have, these might be too big. Yeah, I think they're too big. I have a number, I have these little labels. I want something to go here. I just don't know what. I have, oh, I like that. And then I'll put a brad in the middle of it. That's what I'm gonna do. What do I have? Where are you? Where did my brads go? Oh, here they are. So I'll get a little round brad. And you can just poke it with a pokey tool if you want, but I have a punch, so I'm going to punch it right in the center, sorta. And then, let's see, where do I want to put it here? Maybe like that. Guess I could have punched them together. And then, since this is going to be pushed down anyway, you know, glued down, well, it is in my case, going to be glued down to the page. I don't care that these little pieces are in the back. And then I just have a little movable element there, and you could certainly put a little something under that as well. You know, or put 2 of them there and let them spin. A little option. All right, we got some extra stuff here. Let's get rid of that. And we got those done. This guy, maybe we can get one of those butterflies on here. Let's see. He's thin. Still kind of thick though. Tall, I don't know. I don't think those are gonna work. So perhaps a label. These are very close to the color of the book page, so let me put some black around them. And these are just a digital kit from Etsy. There are a ton of them that are very similar. Just search labels and you can find them. Maybe a piece of washi under this. Where did I put the washi? I have some of this black that I got. I haven't used this yet. So maybe we'll use it now. Let's see what works. Let's see. do it there. And then this can kind of go like that. Maybe I need to move that washi down just a little. Try not to pull up too much of that book page because the book page is older, so it's gonna want to come up a little more, a little quicker. All right, so that looks like it's good. Let me just, actually this is going to be glued down, so I can just wrap this around. And then I can put that little label like right there. I like that. But you can certainly add a pop of color if you want to kind of go that route and bring a little more color to it. I don't mind that I'm covering up those words or that it's a little crooked. It's all good. And then I could put a word on here. Kindness matters. I don't know, it doesn't really go with the number here. So let's see. I have something like that, or I could cut it down, just kind of have it sticking out of the pocket. That would inhibit some of my room here, but I could make that sacrifice for the look of it. Maybe I have a thinner one. Hold on. This one be a little better. I think that's actually going to take up more room. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to tuck it in the pocket, and then I'm just going to glue the top part. So I have sacrificed a little of that pocket, but that's okay. This one is completely open, and I think that would work. There we go. I just kind of like the way this has the dates and stuff. It's kind of cool. Okay, mess is forming. Let's move these over here. We've got this. We've got this one. And I've got this envelope. The envelope actually might work for these butterflies that I keep trying to get onto something. Oh yeah, that would be very cool. I think I do. I'm gonna jab myself. Let's put some stuff away. The problem is, well, my space is small, but I never put anything away. It's just kind of all laying out here, and then I'm tripping over it. So that's the problem. I've identified the problem. Now, can I fix it? That's a whole nother conversation. All right, let's add a little black. I know this is dark, but this will help bring that out and forward a little bit like that. And I have some music sheets here. So what I could do is kind of bring in a piece across, if I can get one straight enough. Kind of like this, and kind of just break that up a little. And then put that guy on there, or I can just hang it kind of not completely across like that. And put him in the middle, kind of like that. Let me see if I can get some use out of this one piece here. Like I could do, let me ink this and glue it down, because I've decided I'm going to use this. And this is just kind of that wonky, distressed, kind of messy, all over the place, doesn't make any sense kind of look, which I love. Chaos in art is very appealing to me. I don't know why. I'm sure there's something. Some reasoning behind it. Now that's going to go there. Let's do it like that. And the possibilities with the decorating is endless. Obviously, you know, whatever's on your desk or whatever you have in your stash, you can just use, pull it out, put it in front of you, and then you can be inspired by what you have. And, you know, you may end up putting most of it back, but at least you have it there to kind of look at and gain some inspiration from. Okay, and then I was thinking, just to add some additional interest with this, but I do not like this edge. It's a very tiny piece of paper to tear. All right, so just kind of break that up a little. Maybe we want to go over there. Just trying to get a feel for how it would look. Probably a bigger piece of paper would have worked out better, but if I put it this way, it'll work. So let's do that. And sometimes it is cool to kind of try to do some decorating before you glue everything together. Meaning like do your layout, because then you could add some sewing. I could sew, you know, through here before I sewed the whole thing together, but it's all good. So I am going to put you there. And the purpose of that black piece is just, I don't know, just to kind of add another little thing to pull your eye away. Like so. I like that. We'll cut this off. And then maybe a word, since I don't have a word on this one. What do I have? Oh, this is cute. I have open here. This would actually be cute on the front. All right, so let's do that. And do I want to bring some more of this over to kind of carry that forward? I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah. So, ink, ink, ink. I don't know. What are we at? 2 hours? It's all good. I don't know. Decorating's the best part to me. So, I hope it is for you too. It's like putting icing on a cake. You know, those bakers, they bake the cake. It takes them an hour. All the rest is in those decorating components, those decorative pieces and things that they do. Like that. I like that. All right. And then it makes sense because it's an envelope and you have to open it. So, open here, like so. And then when you do, you see that cute little, beautiful butterfly. Too white. All right. That's done. What else do we have left? We have this envelope, this pocket, and we have this little flip out. So this little flip out is just calling for something down the side here, or maybe here. And I'm sure I have something. I saw a little, where did I put you? I did see a little dandelion. one that I cut out. There you are. I think that would go there. I like that. That's going there. Do we want something behind it? Like maybe some of this fun crinkly paper. This is, what is this? Tracing paper that I coffee dyed and then baked in the oven. So it is really crinkly, which I love. I don't know, do you guys like that sound? I kind of love it. All right, so we will do maybe like that. And then this can go over it like that. I do kind of like that. Let's glue this down. Which side do I want? Oh, that one's darker. I think I want that side. Man, I could turn anything into a project, I tell you. This never ends. Okay, but, you know, get lost in my craft room. It's a good way to get rid of the stress. All right, I think I decided this way. That's what I'm going with. All right, so that'll kind of pop off to the side. And then this one can kind of go like this, right in the center. And then we'll see about the rest of it. Let's see what else we have once I get this down. All right, if you don't like sticky fingers, then use your tweezers. All right, let's see where we are. Like so. I am gonna have to add a little more glue down here. Let's get it to the edge of the page, and then I'll cut that off. All right. I don't know, this glue isn't holding well today. I don't know why. Probably because I'm not gluing it well. Okay, so that is that there. I'll cut you off. And I'm gonna leave these threads for now. You know, I might cut them off on some of these, but for now, I don't know. I kind of like hanging threads. All right, let's put something inside here. I have another butterfly. Oh, this one's kind of cool because it's very light. We'll use you. This just takes that kind of white edge that you get when you print on your paper so that it's not so visible. It's weird. I know this is flat and it's down, but it shows. It just shows. I don't know why, but it does. You can put you there, and then maybe we'll add a word. Draw in some antenna, because I don't cut these out with the antenna because that's just a lot. And I can just draw them back in. Give me a pen. Make sure the pen writes. And then we'll just give you a little bit of antenna back. There we go. And bees ahead, kindness matters. What else do I have here? Wildflowers. Yep. I like that. I like wildflowers. I actually love wildflowers. I grow echinacea. I don't know if that's considered a wildflower or weed or whatever. Coneflowers, they're also known as. Wow, I got like a bundle of them one time and I planted them and now they are everywhere. They put off a lot of seeds and the birds love them. So in the fall when they're dying back, they form the seed head in the center and then the birds eat them throughout the winter. So I'm going to move you up. You know, it's like a food source for them. and so I leave them. Anyway, I love wildflowers. And then maybe here, this can be some journaling space. Let's see, how's that gonna, maybe we'll take a little more of this chalk paint and kind of tone these sides down. Let's see what I get here. Where did I put that? I don't know. Give me a piece of paper here. Okay, that's a lot. That is more than I will ever need. And then I'm just gonna push this back with some of this. And then these flaps can become little journaling spots, you know? Just another way to add some space, especially, all right, well, well, that's going down, so don't put it on top of something else. Hang on one second. Especially in little journals, because, you know, there's not a lot of room. But I happen to love that because, I don't know, for me, sometimes filling up a lot of space is intimidating. So I happen to like little spaces because I feel like I can get through it a little easier. And yeah. All right, so that's that. And you don't want to go too crazy because this paper is already pretty fragile. So you could also, you know, use a Posca pen, maybe, a marker, or maybe just use a stencil so you're not putting on so much. I think this will be fine. It's drying quick and I'm not that worried about it. All right, so that's that. And then maybe up here too. Then you could kind of write a little word or quote and put that in there. So I'll find a tag to go in there. I always have a ton of tags somewhere. So there's a lot of little space there to kind of write. And then it's drying, so I'll let that dry and then I'll go back and ink over it. So now we have you, and I see a theme. I see a theme emerging, so I'm going to do 2 butterflies on this one, but I might put something under it. So let's see. And then this will be our last one, and then we're done. And we're done. I know, it's sad. I hate when it's done. Kind of tuck you in the pocket, put you there. Do I want something behind it? Do I? I think I do. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is a recycled paper bag, grocery bag, and I'm just going to kind of tear out a little segment here, like so. And this will kind of act as a little place to write or add a word, and it kind of pulls forward this beautiful moth. I don't know how they're different, but I know when I see them. Some I can identify as moths, others not so much. That is just doing nothing. All right, so that's that. And you're gonna go in the back. Looks like it's emerging from the pocket. I like that. And then this one is over here. I want it exactly diagonal. Oh. Okay, the video cut off somewhere. I don't know. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I get a call in between, and usually it doesn't affect it, but I think this one did for some reason. In any event, we were almost finished up anyway. We were at the end of this one, and that's how I finished it up. I just put a little word on there, and it's done. So we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces that are all very cohesive. They look well together. They can all go in my little journal because they're small. But again, you can make these in any size that you like. And I brought in a butterfly theme, but you could make these with Tim Holtz people. You could make them with birds. You could, you know, just use different washi tapes, cut stuff out of magazines, steampunk. I mean, the themes are endless possibilities. Whatever you have around, everybody's got book page or can get book page very easily. So it's very inexpensive to kind of put a bunch of these together. And you get to use up your scraps too. I mean, a lot of these pieces were just scraps from my scrap bin. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like paper crafting, junk journaling, and things of that nature, then go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell and choose all so you'll get all of my notifications when I release new videos. And again, just thank you for joining me today. I know you have a lot of places you can go to spend your time. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you have anything that you'd like to add, or you made some of these, then go ahead and comment below and tell me about your experience, or show them off on Instagram if you have such things. I am Hither and Jan Studio on Instagram, and I would love to see what you made. Thanks again for stopping by, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!